Morning, everybody. I am Meg from Maker Mornings with Meg, and this is the Wednesday edition of our project. But the first one of March, which gives us a couple of new things to talk about. So the first one is the projects that I am going to feature for the month of March. Use the Hello Beautiful stamp set and the coordinating gorgeous abstract beauty designer series paper. So I'm going to show you a great project with this paper this morning that just uses one of the sheets of paper. I'll show you how to trim it to get perfect layouts. We're going to do a triple layer panel card. So I don't know if you've seen this one before. There's a couple of different ways to vary it, but I will show you how to get the panels to line up every time with no sweat. So there's kind of a trick to that. The other thing we're going to use is the Ephemera Pack, and this is the first of the four, actually it's the second of the four cards that I'm going to feature this month with my March LovenStamps tutorials. So if you aren't sure about LovenStamps tutorials and perks points and getting free card kits in the mail, click in the video description. There are links to information about how to get those things. So, and again, if you are not ordering from me, like you're a demonstrator or something like that, you can get the tutorials as a PDF from my Etsy shop too. So, all right, good morning, Kathy and Teresa and Margie and Tanya and everybody else whose name isn't showing up. I know there's a whole bunch more of you there that I don't understand why Facebook shows me some names but not others. So if you have any insight on that, feel free to enlighten me. But we're gonna go ahead and start with, these papers are all gold foiled, and so you really could make this card with any one of the ones with the fantastic splotches. I feel like these are kind of an 80s look. Here's another one, and another one here. So any of these sort of 80s inspired splotchy papers would be perfect for this card. And when you get your card kit in the mail, so this is one of the projects that you would get if you order at least $50 this month or through me in March. When you get your card kit, you might get any one of those splotchy papers. So I'll show you the one that I'm gonna make today, and then I think I have a different design to show you all made up too. So, all right, are you guys ready to get stamping? Let us go ahead. I'm also gonna need my, let's see, mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here with 2 plates, because we are going to be doing just a little bit of die cutting for this project. And the nice thing is that that is on special this month, so link in the video description for that too. All right. Oh, I get a couple more names. Hey, Lisa and Melissa and Trish, and I don't know, maybe not a ton more names. Anyway, let's get stamping, guys. You ready? So I'm gonna flip my camera down here. There we go, highly technical. And you can see all my stamps that I've got out for us already. I like to have things kind of set for you guys as much as possible so that we can kind of keep our tutorial moving along and include the information that's really helpful to you guys. So, all right, so I'm gonna start off with my card kit here. And I have a half sheet of Blushing Bride cardstock. And we're gonna go ahead and fold this in half. If you like to score your cardstock in half, go ahead. I don't always score this direction, but with a long ways card, I always score. And you'll notice that I have my card or my paper here. This paper comes actually in a different format. It's 4x6, a little different than we're used to, but I'm gonna show you 4 cards this month that are great fit for 4x6 paper. And so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this down so that it's 4 inches here. Well, it's already 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then the first thing you're gonna do in making this triple layer card is to go ahead and pop all adhesive across all the way in our paper. Oops. And I'm gonna go back just a teeny bit, pull that out, and I'll show you. With the Seal Plus, you don't wanna push too hard on your paper. It is really strong adhesive, so strong that it like can rip the layers of the paper apart. It's like Superman. So just be careful not to push down too hard so that you're breaking the fibers with the seal so that it peels up like that. So, all right, not a problem though. I'm gonna go ahead and layer this here on our card front. Now you're thinking that is not a triple panel card. That is just a normal card. And that is my secret for getting this to line up every time, okay? So now I am going to bring in my trimmer. And I'm going to use two cool aspects of this trimmer. One is that it measures on both sides. So I'm going to go to 1 1¼ inches here. And by measure on both sides, I mean on both sides of the cut line, there is a ruler, which is super handy. Okay. And then I'm going to get my scoring blade out of the way, and my cutting blade here has a line right across the top of the trimmer blade. So here, right there, you can kind of see it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut now at that score line, or up to the score line. So right at that 1 3/4, and I'm going to stop right there, and then I can do a quick little check. Yep, that's exactly where I wanted it. All right. And then I'm going to slide this down here. I'm going to line it up straight again with those lines at 1 1/4. And I can even start here right in the center. I'm just going to press that blade down and then cut that all the way to the end. And there I have my triple panel started, where I have all the papers lined up exactly. I don't have to fuss with like, wait, did I get the patterns out of order? It's all just ready to go. So, all right. So next on our triple panel card, we need to stick some of these layers together so that it's not quite so floppy, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a strip across here. I love to hold the left and the right panels together with a strip. But just because you're putting that strip across doesn't mean that it has to like go all the way. It doesn't have to be even like centered like this. So I want it to be off-centered. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slide it between these layers so that it has a little bit more of that like third kind of effect. And rather than like centering things all the time, I love to do sort of that third kind of division on my projects. So let's think about where the adhesive needs to go now. It needs to go on the top of this part here with this just jade strip, but on the bottom of this part here so that it sticks everything where we want it to. So I'm gonna pop some Seal Plus there on the top of this side. And then I'm going to pop it on the bottom. I'm going to hold that up in the air here and put adhesive on the bottom of this side, okay? So actually it doesn't matter which one's top or bottom at this point. It's just opposite. And so, yeah, so we're going to do here, and I'm just going to kind of align this strip here as part of our design where I want it to go. And then I'm just going to close my card layer on it so that these layers line up. And there's something really satisfying about these, like the weight of the cardstock and the way that comes together. And then same here, I'm just going to close my card and press that down there. So now we have the start of our triple panel. You see how that works? All right. Trish says that paper is gorgeous. I totally agree. Here's like the rest of it. This is the card that I showed you guys already with this suite. So this is actually the first of the Abstract Beauty. I shared this one last month as a sneak preview kind of this month's LovenStamps tutorials. But really, there are just amazing papers in this pack. So, all right. So next in our project, we're going to go ahead and talk about layering the pieces. So we have 1, 2, 3 layers to work with, which is kind of fun. And I love the way the bumblebee paper goes with this suite. And so I'm going to pop this bumblebee layer on kind of like this here. But before I do that, I thought it would be fun, since this card has so many layers that go kind of through, I thought it would be fun to do like a die cut in this layer so that you can kind of see through to the next layer. And that is where the beautiful shapes dies come in, with lots of cool possibilities for that, the layering circles, hexagons, diamond shapes, and triangles. So let's grab this one right here, which is 2 pieces together, which is super fun, because then we can have these 2 layers right together. So 2 diamonds cut out of the same shape. So let's go ahead and bring in our, well, 2 things. First of all, I'm gonna bring in a little bit of washi tape here to just hold this, and I'm kind of orienting these so that they're square with our paper. And then I'm gonna bring in my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Super convenient if you have been agonizing over whether you need this little guy or not. The good news is that it's 20% off during the month of March. So now is a great time to add it to your collection. Also, if you're looking for more dies, there are a great set of dies that are on special 20% off also. Now, sometimes people say they have a hard time getting their plates to go through, like to get them started. I always stagger my plates. I have the white base plate in the back, I have the next one forward, and I have the top plate just further forward or further back there. So see how easy that is to get started. I just give it a little nudge and then go through. If you line up all the plates like this and you have a die really close to the edge, it can sometimes be hard to get the machine, although that just grabbed fine. It can sometimes be hard to get the machine to grab and pull. So think about staggering your plates to see if you can make it a little simpler on yourself. All right, so there is our die cut element. And we are going to save those pieces because we are going to pull them into our card layer and our card later. And we're going to go ahead and peel the washi tape off. Easier said than done, apparently. This washi tape was really grabby this morning. Sometimes I find that humidity can change the way paper works in my studio too. So you just never quite know. All right, so we've got our diamond piece here, back with our card. We're going to pop this on here, but before we do that, let's add some stamps. So I'm gonna add this little like dragon scaly pattern here to our bumblebee layer. And let's see, I think I want this to be on the upside. And the colors for pads I'm using this month are Bumblebee, Misty Moonlight, and Just Jade. You could, if you wanted to, add like a Blushing Bride pad would be a great one for this suite. All the other colors in the suite here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and add some sort of random shapes here and pop this. I guess I don't want too many, but that's good. Pop this onto our project. Now to figure out where I really want to attach this, I want to be careful because I don't want to adhere to the middle panel. I want to only adhere to this top panel. And so I'm going to use my mini Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm just going to go right here on this layer so that it shows, or I know that I'm not going to overlap and adhere where I don't want. There we go. I need the right orientation. Okay, so just like that, so I'll pop these off. It's really tempting to want to put one out here, but don't do it. You'll seal your panel shut. So, all right, I'm gonna go right there, okay? Now we need a greeting for the front of our card. So you have 6 fabulous choices in this stamp set, and of course anything else. But let's go with Hello Beautiful, which I don't seem to have out already. Let's see. Hello Beautiful, that one. Oh, it's here. All right, so Hello Beautiful. And I need a block, so I'll pop this on here. And then we're gonna use a color for this. I'm gonna go ahead and use Misty Moonlight. So I used a different color on the other version of this card that I'm gonna show you. So you'll get to see another choice. And I'm gonna pop this on a strip. This is a Whisper White strip, or basic white strip, sheesh, of cardstock that is a size that I always have tons of from cutting card layers. So this is the layer for the inside of our card. It's 4 by 5 1/4 also, same as the top layer. And so that is a layer size that I cut often, and I always end up with tons of these strips. So I love it when I have a greeting that fits. Okay, so here is kind of the front of our card. I know I usually add rhinestones and stuff, but there's a lot of gold foil on here, so I'm gonna leave it. Hey Jenny, I'm so glad that you like the sweets, and it's good to see you. Good evening. I don't know what time it is there. Morning for us. So, and really early for all you West Coast people. I hope you have your coffee. So we could leave this card like this, but I am going to add one embellishment. So the card kit for this is one of the ones that I'm sending this month for orders, if your order is at least $50. But you are going to want to add to one of your orders this month the ephemera kit. So I'm not going to include the ephemera pieces because they're not a like huge number of them, which is kind of fun. Like you can accent the things that you want and not have a ton of like zillions of stuff left over. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out this square frame here. So the card is beautiful, just like this, but with this little added frame to it, it just really dresses that element up just that much more. So I'm kind of a big fan of these ephemera pieces. So you're gonna wanna add those to your order if you wanna make this exactly the same. And it is the same size as my square, so I'm going to go ahead and just put a really thin bit of multi-purpose liquid glue around the edge. And by really thin, I mean, if you can see it, it's enough. That is how little glue I'm putting on there. This stuff is really strong, so you really don't need to overdo it, and you really don't want it to squish out. So that will be perfect, okay? And then I'm gonna pop up this, and I'll grab a full-size Stampin' Dimensional, if I can find one. I seem to have a lot of minis around here. There we go. So I'll just pop one in the middle of this strip and pop this on here. So now we have our Hello Beautiful front card. So now we want to add some fun things to the inside of our card. So we have two more layers. We have this layer and we have the inside layer. And so here, you can add an extra greeting if you want. If you have a 3-stage greeting, you can certainly add one per panel. This is a great card layout for that kind of greeting set. But I'm gonna go ahead and use this circle die here to cut another piece of Bumblebee cardstock here. And we're gonna layer this on here so that it's hidden by our element. So I could put it out here, but that sort of distracts from that cleanness of the front of the card. So I'm gonna put it here. And we're gonna give it a little bit of decoration, lots and lots of great accenty stamps here in this stamp set. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pop some squiggle lines on there and decide which way I like it better. And you know what? Let's grab some more ephemera pieces. So if you didn't have the ephemera pack, so if you're making this card without this part, then what I would do is I would stamp a flower and stamp a leaf and just fussy cut those and pop them here on our card. So easy way to adhere these, pop these to the back side, drop a dimensional on it, and then stick this here on our project. Okay, let's see. I think I want it to kind of fill this gap here. All right, so I really want these lines to be, I really want them to be horizontal. I could make them skewed, but I'm gonna leave them this way. So let's see where we can put this. We can put it that way or this way. And I need to move it over a little bit more so that it's not interfering with our window. There we go. Now it's hidden by our square on the front. So I can pull off a dimensional, pop one here, and put this back on. I'm not gonna push it down super, oops, I moved it. I'm not gonna push it down super hard because I wanna check it. And yep, it's good. So now if that had been not in the right place, what I would have done is I would have twisted that circle off very easily so that I could separate it and put a new dimensional on and put it on again. So, all right, and now you can see where this layer is gonna go on the inside, and we're gonna use more of the fabulous stamps in here to add some fun pattern to the inside of our card. And to do that, I'm gonna set this part aside. And let's bring in some of our elements. So I've got another greeting. So I said I like this as a 2-stage greeting. So I've got, this calls for a celebration. I have the splotch here and this other sort of shaped, I don't know, macaroni noodle splotch here. And this greeting, or this element right here is a nice cover fit for this greeting. So they're the same time, this outline for this. And we're gonna add back our little diamonds. Well, maybe one, because I can't seem to find the other. Oh, there it is. We're gonna add those back too, okay? So, all right, so let's fill our pieces in. Let's see, I think we're gonna go with, well, we could go with green or we could go with blue. Or we could do a little both, we could be crazy. So let's put our greeting on first. So I'm gonna ink this up here, Misty Moonlight, and stamp This Calls for a Celebration. All right, and then we're gonna add our element over the top. This is Bumblebee again. Now you have a couple of choices with these images. You can stamp straight, like full color on there, but I really want our greeting to show through. So I'm gonna actually stamp off once, let's see, twice, 3 times, let's see. Okay, so that gives us our shade choices. So if I want the lightest, I know I'm gonna be on the 3rd. So 1, 2, and then 3, okay? Very fun. And then we're gonna go back with our other elements. So let's go ahead and start adding some pieces here. Now, if you want to have a really even image across there, you'll wanna just kind of look at how your inking is and make sure your inking is even. I actually am not bothered at all by this sort of splashiness factor here. So you could choose to, you know, not worry too much about having things be 100% inked. And if you put a paper piercing mat underneath your stamping, so if I put this here underneath my cardstock, then you know you'll get an even cleaner, complete image. But honestly, I'm not too concerned about it here. So, all right, so 3s are good. I'm gonna leave that there. And then this one, I think I'm gonna do in Misty Moonlight. So I'm gonna ink this up, and I know that this is a fairly dark color sometimes. Yep, especially when it's freshly inked. So I'm gonna go ahead and stamp off on this one. So 1 stamp off, and then 1 on my project. So I'm gonna twist that a little bit. And I think this image is really fun. This one is a little stronger down here, so I'm gonna do this one full strength. Okay, so there we have our fun celebration, and you could write over those if you're worried about covering up too much with your stamping to leave room for your greeting, probably not a big deal. All right, now I've lost that triangle or diamond again. Anybody see where that went? There it is. It was on the bottom of my pad. So I love this element from the front of our card, and I want to incorporate it inside our card. So let's go ahead and pop it down here at the very bottom. Okay, so I think that this paper feels very 80s to me. I don't know, what do you guys think? Does it feel 80s to you? Maybe it's just me, like as an 80s grower-upper. So I would love to hear your thoughts. All right, so I've got 1 diamond on there. I'm just gonna pop another little bit of the multi-purpose liquid glue on, and I'm gonna put them just in the same shape here as they are on the front, same orientation as they are on the front of our card. And then pop this here on the card inside. And then we have our 3-layer card. So we'll do a quick envelope here to match, because we have our stamps already handy. So there are the pieces there. And if you're going to, if you're gonna stamp your cards, you might as well stamp an envelope, because that just makes it that much more fun to find in the mailbox. So we'll go crazy and do full strength here. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll try that one more time. Is there something under there? No. Gotta love photopolymer and lining things up, right? And then I'm gonna pop one of these elements on there. Just kind of covers up our little blurb there. So now we have our kind of matching pieces there. All right, do you guys wanna see another version of this card? Let me close some ink pads. Thanks, Roxanne, I'm glad you like it. Roxanne says cute card. All right, so there is this version. So our triple panel, okay, lots of fun layering elements there. And then here's another one with one of the other designer series papers from the same pack. And then if you are gonna look at the 3rd and 4th choices for this paper pack would be these 2 here. So lots of good color choices with the Abstract Beauty paper. So either way, we're gonna do the layer on the inside and layer on the front. And you guys got the hint, right, on how to have these designer series paper pieces line up perfectly every time, so that you're not trying to like fiddle with papers and move things up and down. So just glue it on your paper first, and then use your trimmer to do the trimming. Stop when that center line reaches the score, and you are golden. So, all right, so what do you guys think? Abstract Beauty fans? Trish says she likes the card. Roxanne said, yes, please. Oh, show you the other card. Yes, I showed you the other card. So yeah, lots of possibilities for this paper. With our sweet shares this month, I'm gonna show you this card from today, this card, which was one of the previous episodes of Maker Mornings with Meg, so this one's included. And then I have 2 more. One is a double Z fold card, and one is a tag front card. So lots of fun choices there for mixing and matching and doing fun folds, right? It's always, you know, a card is beautiful, but I kind of like to mix it up sometimes and get some things in there that are just a little bit unexpected. And definitely the triple layer panel card is an unexpected kind of greeting. So I love the way it holds together with that extra strip in the middle. So lots of stability on our card front there, even though we're splitting it off. But a neat way to feature a designer series paper. Now, if you don't have a designer series paper you love, this is actually a great stamp set to create your own designer series paper. So you could use a piece of basic white on the front or even a colored cardstock, stamp all the pieces on the, stamp all of these little stamps on here to kind of make your own splotch pattern. And then go back and add that paper to the front of your card, like as if designer series paper. You could even put some gold foil on there. So lots of good possibilities. Let's see, Trish says she likes the different fun folds. Yes, I agree. Just, it's kind of fun to mix it up sometimes. And Kim says that she just ordered this stuff, so she'll have it in a few days. Yay, you'll be all set to make these cards, right? All right, guys, well, thanks for watching on this wonderful Wednesday, and I'll be back on Friday with another Maker Mornings with Meg. And I think actually Friday, did I tell you guys I was gonna show Waves of the Ocean today? I might have, but we're gonna do it on Friday instead. I got excited about the suite and the monthly tutorials for March. So Friday, we'll be talking about Waves of the Ocean, which actually I put a link in the video description for that. If you just can't wait, you can check those things out. And they are new stamps, new dies, new designer series paper, new jewels, which I am kind of a blingy person. Not that I'm wearing any today, but kind of blingy on my cards. So you'll look forward to seeing that. All right, guys, have a great day. Let's see, somebody said, oh, their internet's not being nice today. Okay, I learned something. This is for Margie. She said she's having a hard time with the internet and it's freezing every 30 seconds. I learned that you can check on your device for what kind of feed you're getting from my live videos or any Facebook Live. So let me pull this up here. There's a little gear on the bottom of the window if you're watching on your computer, or I don't think I can do it on my phone. So scroll down near the bottom of the window, click on the little gear, and there's a quality thing. And so there's an automatic quality, like if your video is, if Facebook thinks your internet isn't so hot today, it might lower your quality. So you can try playing with that, move it up or down a little bit to see if it helps the video that you're getting. So, all right, guys, have a fabulous day, and I'll be back on Friday. Happy stamping.